The brown knight rises, or does he? Tucked away in the underbelly of Austin, somewhere between a vape shop and a warehouse full of expired protein powder, lies a dimly lit lair. Not quite a bat cave, more like a brat cave, and in it resides a mysterious figure. Some call him Big Brown, others Bappa, Thick Boy Wonder, or simply the kid that should have been supervised. He's not the Bruce Wayne of Texas comedy just yet, but he's got a jacked up truck with enough horsepower to tow every unfunny moment he's ever said straight into the Colorado River. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Brendan Schaub has officially planted his flag in Austin. The studio is set up, the lights are mostly working, and the AC has taken over as the new co-host. But don't expect a smooth transition, oh no. While Joe Rogan's mothership is beaming comics into the next stratosphere, the fighter and the kid is over here broadcasting from what appears to be an abandoned Jiffy Lube, with a mezzanine, 2 chairs, and a folding table stolen from a church garage sale. It's comedy, folks, just not the intentional kind. You'd think after 10 years of podcasting, the move to Texas would feel like a second wind, a creative renaissance, but for Schaub, it's more like a heat stroke. Since arriving, Bappa's been acting like a cranky toddler who missed nap time. He's complained about the AC being too loud, the lights going out, Brian Callen leaving, and of course his comedy soulmate, Chris D'Elia, not immediately teleporting to Austin to bail him out on his golden hour depression spiral. Let's start with the Callen situation. Fans expected Brian to dive headfirst into the Austin scene alongside his boy, but instead Brian abandoned ship and literally set sail on a family cruise with his parents. Aww. While Brendan was melting in his poorly lit pod lair, Brian was busy doing the cha-cha slide on the Lido deck with his mom and dad, holding a pina colada and dodging podcast responsibilities like Neo in The Matrix. No lie, a week in Captain Calabasas waved goodbye and left Brown Town to babysit the pod solo. And poor Chin? Let's talk about Chin. The man's been riding with Brendan longer than most fighters last in the cage. And yet, after uprooting his life and moving to Austin, he's apparently been sleeping on a couch in the corner of the studio surrounded by boxes, Ethernet cables, and dreams of stability. The current rumor is that Chin lives like a podcasting vampire, emerging only when it's time to record, then retreating into a pile of hoodies behind the camera. Honestly, that's dedication, or Stockholm Syndrome, hard to say. And the new studio? Well, if Brendan's old LA setup was a dojo for podcast bro energy, this new location is a storage unit trying to cosplay as Joe Rogan's mothership, minus the gravity, talent, and Rogan. Brendan's cars are parked inside the pod space for some reason unknown, giving each episode the vibe of a rejected Fast and Furious audition tape. The mezzanine setup looks like something out of an early YouTube unboxing video. It's so bare, even the sound bounces out in protest. Now let's get to the D'Elia dilemma. Brendan's been publicly pouting like a kid whose best friend didn't show up to his birthday party. On most recent episode of The Golden Hour, he threw a mini tantrum after Chris rolled his eyes at the idea of flying to Austin just to appear on a podcast whose numbers have been on a slow, sad decline. You could practically see Brendan's ego deflate like a thick boy bike tire. And that's not even the worst part of it all. Instead of leaning into the comedy part of their comedy podcast, Brendan has turned T-Fat K into a makeshift political panel. booking Tim Kennedy to talk policy instead of punchlines. It's like tuning into The Daily Show and getting C-SPAN after dark. Somewhere out there, a fan who turned in for fart jokes is now learning about constitutional carry laws. Oh boy. Supposedly, Eric Griffin might swing by, maybe, at some point, if the lighting situation improves and there's a working coffee machine, but don't hold your breath. Rogan hasn't popped in, Santino ghosted, Segura busy filming 10 Netflix specials and being funny. Even Brendan's fellow thick boy faithful seem hesitant to make the pilgrimage to what's looking less like a comedy mecca and more like a middle school AV club with branding. And so here we are, old Bappa, Brendo, Big Brown, the Brown Knight himself, sitting in a glorified garage in East Austin, sweating through black teas, ranting about cruise ships, the deep state, and friends who no longer answer his texts. Is this the comedy empire he dreamed of? Is this the level up moment that was supposed to put T-Fat-K back in the top 10? Or is it just another chapter in the saga of a man who thought moving states would change his fate, only to realize you can leave LA, but you can't leave yourself? If you're still watching, go ahead and smash that like button. Do it for Chin, who probably hasn't had a real bed in weeks. Comment below your favorite Brendan nickname. Mine's Thick Twain, because this journey south has truly been a literary tragedy. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates from the comedy underworld, where the lights are out, the AC's screaming, and Bappa's still trying to figure out why Crystalia won't text him back.